of the coalition talks.
So tomorrow, he may not, I mean, the language or the phrase "I will run on the Labour Party" may change. I mean, if the coalition takes root, he may then run.
Who knows? And what I always want to let people understand is that the coalition is still in the gestation stages. It's too early for anybody to start to say to you, this is what's going on. Yes, I know that Peter Obi sells news, so that's why you would find a lot of media houses have taken it upon themselves to draw news from a rock. You know, yeah, and Peter Obi is an Okute, his name is the rock, isn't it?
When Obi says that the government is to be blamed for the crisis, I mean, you listened to Dr. Amadi a while ago, I don't know whether you listened to him. When Obi says the crisis in the Labour Party and the PDP is orchestrated by the government or the Tinubu administration, as the case may be, I'm wondering, isn't that a case of shooting himself, their parties, in the leg? Because you're saying that you people can handle it. For me, I'm thinking, I don't know, so I'm asking, isn't that shooting themselves in the leg when you said that somebody is the one causing your crisis?
Why is it that in Nigeria we don't like to call a spade a spade? We know what's going on.
I don't know.
He gave a classic example of a time when President Yaradua, when he was in government and the APGA was having a problem, and he called, you know, the then INEC chairman and said to him, I want this thing to be over. I need it to end now. And it did. So when there are issues within the political party and people are crying wolf and people are saying to you that this is where the issues are coming from, we're not conjuring up these names. You should ask yourself, when you think about this, then you should ask yourself, why is the APC in panic mode? Why are they acting as if
who says that?
Pardon me, let me finish. They are. The way that they're acting, the way they're goading Nigerians, the way they're goading people into defections, tells you that they're in panic mode. Tells you that they know. They themselves are also interested in the coalition. Yes.
Defection is part, I mean, anyway, whichever way you look at it, I mean, our constitution seems to have an issue there.
No,
but
we don't have an issue. There's no issue. Everybody is entitled to freedom of association.
Yeah. So,
absolutely. But so when you have a rubber stamp National Assembly that refuses to declare those seats vacant, please give me the answer.
I just read a news where the National Assembly takes exception to being called a rubber stamp. That's by the way. That's by the way. The question
I didn't stutter.
Somebody watching will ask, when Obi keeps pointing a finger and PDP keeps pointing a finger at some other external influence, the question is the Labour Party and the PDP, well, we're talking about Labour Party, expecting another party or an outsider to solve your crisis?
Absolutely not.
So
just because His Excellency Peter Obi is talking in coalition doesn't mean that he's not also having conversation within the Labour Party to be able to sort out the internal issues that have been brewing. That's not it at all. But truth be told, I'm not going to sit down here and then start to divulge certain
solving Nigeria's problems, does it dwell with the North? That's what he said.
To a large extent. I'm from the North, and that always gives me a lot of joy because all my life, for a long time, what you hear is Nigeria's oil wealth. We have, over time, we've forgotten the other regions. So when he says that the vast arable lands in northern Nigeria, he put it also in context. I'm not good with numbers, so I'm not going to go there. He let us know that Bangladesh, in what they put out in terms of productivity is just the size of 2 northern Nigerian states. And we know that we have the numbers. We know that we have the vast arable land. We also know that we have mineral resources that can be of great, that can put Nigeria back on the pedestal that she belongs. That's what he's saying. It's time for the North to look inward. It's time for us to begin to say, we can do this.
He talked about the North has been voting for something else. It's time to vote for competence and capacity. And any right-thinking individual will ask, you're having issues in your party. So which competence and capacity are they voting for if you can't handle your problems? He's advising the North to vote for competence and capacity.
You're still trying to put me into a spot that I'm not going to follow with you. You know, when you people make these kind of comments, I'm wondering, are you trying to elicit a negative response from me? Peter Obi is, let me tell you something. Peter Obi himself is stronger than all those politicians put together.
In what
he's
way?
more competent and he's shown capacity, especially because when you look at the trajectory of the things that he has done, he's been consistent. So when you look at Peter Obi, the obedient movement, the one thing you can say about us is that we are one of the most honest people. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. Peter Obi is more interested in a Nigeria. He's always said it, that he's not interested in power grabbing. So his message is not about snatch it, grab it, run with it. It's not served a la carte. He wants the consciousness of Nigerians to wake up. That in itself shows capacity. That in itself shows competence. It's not just about the party and issues that we have. There's a bigger picture. And that's why everywhere we go, everywhere you go, his name is on everybody's lips. Yes or no?
He says, sorry?
Yes or no? He's in the discussions. I'm not talking, well, even in the crisis situation. My mother was a journalist, my late mom, and she would say to you that when they were taught that no news is particularly bad news. So even with the crisis, the man has been steering himself and the party, including the obedient movements, in the right direction. Like I said, it's about the consciousness of Nigerians. PO always wants for Nigerians to understand what their rights are. He lets people, you heard him say that when he's a certain age, he might not want to run. Let me just say this to PO. Sir, remember that you're running for that office through us, the Nigerian people who believe in you. So we might just ask you to run again.
Yeah, but if he knows he can't go on, you can't force him back, but that's by the way. He says crimes and insecurity in the North is a consequence of poverty, and the region must invest in education because it's the easiest way to tackle poverty. What is he saying to the North when he says this? Is he saying to the North that their leaders have failed them?
The leaders all over Nigeria have failed Nigerians. It's not peculiar to the North, but like I said, context. He was speaking to a northern group that invited him to come there. So it had to be in context. Nigerian leaders have failed Nigerians over the years. You must agree that things haven't gone well for us. Are we still Nigeria's giant of Africa? People still ask. So yes.
We're still, I don't know, in maybe numbers.
Numbers?
Yeah.
What do you mean by numbers?
Nigeria is the biggest black continent, African continent.
Yeah, in terms of numbers.
In the world, yeah.
In terms of numbers, but insecurity is rife. We had, I think we're second, you know, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, in terms of out of school children in Africa. The issues with child mortality rates, women, do you understand? Women and children mortality rates. So what is it? Where?
Okay.
Do Nigerians, please excuse me, do Nigerians have the basics? Do we have basic healthcare, basic education? Are our children on the streets? And so when I say rubber stamp, I didn't stutter. When the National Assembly decides to say to Nigerians that compulsory voting, they want to do it like I think Brazil and Australia, then any right-thinking person should ask, what they should be asking is, why is there voter apathy? Why won't Nigerians want to come out to exercise what is their fundamental human right? Why is there such a distrust of the government? Those are the questions that they should be asking. And you know, you want to be like Brazil, you want to be like Australia, they have energy, they have lights. Do you understand? How much is energy costing the average Nigerian? SMEs can't even thrive